When we were woken up again at 4:15, the man who came to get us had some strange news. Toppin's gone completely vanished, he told us as we started getting up. I've never been on such a damned creepy ship as this. It's not safe to walk on deck anymore. Who's gone? Asked Plummer, sitting up quickly and swinging his legs over the side of his bunk. Toppin, one of the apprentices, the man answered. We've searched the whole ship. We're still searching, but we'll never find him, he added with a gloomy certainty. Maybe he's just sleeping somewhere, said Quan. No way, replied the man. I'm telling you, we've checked everywhere. He's not on this ship. Where was he last seen? I asked. Someone must know something. He was keeping time on the poop deck, the man said. The captain nearly lost his temper with the mate and the man on the wheel. But they say they know nothing. What do you mean, nothing? I asked. He was there one moment, then gone the next. They both swore there wasn't a sound. He's just vanished off the face of the earth. I got down on my chest and started pulling on my boots. Before I could say anything else, the man continued, Look here. I don't even like thinking about it, Coin added. Well, we have to think about it, the man replied. To go talk straight to the captain, he said, pointing a finger at me. Even if the captain agreed. Then I remembered that this man had no idea about the things I had seen and guessed. So instead, I said, And what if he refuses? Then we'll make him, he said firmly. And once you're there, I asked, you'd be arrested for mutiny. I'd rather be locked up, he said. That won't kill me. The others murmured in agreement and went silent, thinking. Then Jasket spoke. At first I didn't think the ship was haunted, but Plummer interrupted. We can't hurt anyone, you know. That would mean hanging, and they haven't been a bad lot. No, everyone agreed, including the man who woke us, everyone said, and then 8 bells rang, so we all went out on deck. After roll call, where there was an awkward pause at Toppin's name, Tammy came to me. The others had gone forward, and I guess they were planning how to force the captain to put into port. Poor guys. I was leaning on the port rail, near the fore-brace lock, staring at the sea, when Tammy joined me. For a while he said nothing. Then he finally spoke and told me the shadow ships hadn't been there since morning. What? I said, surprised. I've not been asleep since. I came here right away. He began to say something further, but stopped short. Yes, I said encouragingly. I didn't know, he began, and broke off. He caught my arm. Oh, Jessup, he exclaimed. What's going to be the end of it all? Surely something can be done? I said nothing. I had a desperate feeling that there was very little we could do to help ourselves. Can't we do something? He asked, and shook my arm. Anything's better than this. We're being murdered. Still, I said nothing, but stared moodily down into the water. I could plan nothing, though I would get mad, feverish fits of thinking. Do you hear? He said. He was almost crying. Yes, Tammy, I replied, but I don't know. I don't know. You don't know, he exclaimed. You don't know. You don't know. Do you mean we're just to give in and be murdered one after another? We've done all we can, I replied. I don't know what else we can do, unless we go below and lock ourselves in every night. That would be better than this, he said. There'll be no one to go below or anything else soon. But what if it came on to blow? I asked. We'd be having the sticks blown out of her. No one would go aloft if it were dark, you said, yourself. Besides, we could shorten her right down first. I tell you, in a few days there won't be a chap alive aboard this packet unless they jolly well do something. Don't shout. I warned him. You'll have the old man hearing you. But the young beggar was wound up and would take no notice. I will shout, he replied. I want the old man to hear. I've a good mind to go up and tell him. He started on a fresh tack. Why don't the men do something? He began. They ought to damn well make the old man put us into port. They ought, for goodness sake, shut up, you little fool, I said. What's the good of talking a lot of damned rot like that? You'll be getting yourself into trouble. I don't care, he replied. I'm not going to be murdered. Look here, I said. I told you before that we shouldn't be able to see the land. It's only your idea. Well, I replied, proof or no proof, the skipper would only pile her up if he tried to make the land. With things as they are now, let him pile her up, he answered. Let him jolly well pile her up. That would be better than staying out here to be pulled overboard or chopped down from aloft. Look here, Tammy, I began, but just then the second mate sung out for him, and he had to go. When he came back, I had started to walk to and from across the foreside of the mainmast. He joined me, and after a minute, he started his wild talk again. Look here, Tammy, I said once more. It's no use your talking like you've been doing. Things are as they are, and it's no one's fault, and nobody can help it. I returned to the port side and got up on the spar again, intending to sit on the pinrail and have a bit of a talk with him. Before sitting down, I glanced over into the sea. The action had been almost mechanical, yet after a few instants, I was in a state of the most intense excitement, and without withdrawing my gaze, I reached out and caught Tammy's arm to attract his attention. My God, I muttered. Look, what is it? He asked, leaning over the rail beside me. And this is what we saw, a pale, slightly domed disk just under the surface of the sea. It looked like it was only a few feet below. As we stared, we clearly saw the shadow of a royal yard, and beneath it, the ropes and rigging of a huge mast. Deeper still, I thought I could see the enormous, unclear outline of great decks. My God, whispered Tammy, then fell silent. Suddenly he gave a shout, like he had an idea, and ran forward to the forecastle head. After looking into the sea for a moment, he ran back to tell me that the top of another giant mast was just under the surface off the bow. While he was doing that, I had been staring intensely at the underwater mast beneath me. Bit by bit, I had traced the lines until I could make out the jackstay along the top of the royal mast, and the royal sail was still set. But the most disturbing thing was the feeling that something was moving down there. I thought I saw small flashes and glints in the rigging, shifting rapidly. Once, I was almost certain that something crawled along the royal yard toward the mast, like it had climbed the edge of the sail. That gave me a horrible feeling that strange things were moving down in the water. Without realizing it, I leaned too far out, and suddenly, I yelled out in shock. I lost my balance. I grabbed wildly and managed to catch the forebrace, pulling myself back onto the spar just in time. At that exact moment, I thought the water's surface above the sunken mast broke, and I'm now sure I saw something rise in the air against the ship's side. Then Tammy let out a terrible scream and went over the rail head first. I thought he was jumping overboard. I grabbed him by the waistband and his leg, pulled him onto the deck, and sat on him because he was screaming and fighting so wildly that I was too shaken to trust my hands to hold him. Back then, I believed something was influencing him, making him try to jump. But now I know I actually saw the shadow man grabbing him. I didn't fully realize it at the time because I was too confused, but later I understood what I'd seen. Even now, I remember it as a faint gray shadow against the white deck, clinging to Tammy. So there I was, breathless, sweating, and still shaken from nearly falling. Then I heard the second mate yelling, and footsteps came running. Then many hands were pulling me off him. "Bloody cowyard!" someone shouted. "Hold him. Hold him," I cried. "He'll fall overboard." Then they realized I wasn't hurting the boy and stopped pulling at me. Two of them held Tammy to keep him safe while I got up. "What's wrong with him?" the second mate called. "What happened?" "I think he's gone mad," I said. "What?" he asked, but before I could explain, Tammy suddenly stopped struggling and collapsed on the deck. "He's fainted," said Plummer with some concern. He looked at me suspiciously. "What happened? What was he doing? Take him to the berth," the second mate ordered quickly. Like he didn't want too many questions. Maybe he guessed we had seen something strange. When Plummer bent to pick the boy up, the second mate stopped him. "Not you, Plummer. Jessup, you do it." Then he told the others, "That's all," and they walked forward, grumbling a bit. I picked up Tammy and carried him aft. "No need to take him below," said the second mate. "Put him on the after hatch. I've sent the other boy to get some brandy." When the brandy came, we gave Tammy a dose and he slowly came around. He sat up, looking confused but calm. "What happened?" he asked. "You should go lie down for a while." "I'm okay now, sir," Tammy said. "I don't think. Do as you're told." The second mate interrupted. "No need to tell you twice." I think he was glad to lie down. Then the second mate turned to me. "Now, Jessup, what caused all this? Tell me quickly." I began to explain, but he raised a hand. "Hold on, there's the breeze." He ran up the port ladder and shouted to the helmsman. Then came back down. "Starboard fore brace," he called. Then, to me, "You'll finish your story later." "Aye, sir," I said, and joined the others. Once we tightened the sails on the port tack, he sent men up to unfurl the sails and called me again. "Now, finish your story, Jessup." I told him about the huge shadow ship and mentioned Tammy, how I wasn't sure if he tried to jump or not, since I had started to realize I'd seen the shadow and remembered the disturbed water. But before I could go further, the second mate rushed to the rail to look for himself. I followed, but with the wind rippling the water, we saw nothing. "No use," he said. "Move away before the others notice. Take those halyards aft." From then until 8 bells, we were busy setting the sails. When 8 bells rang, I rushed to eat breakfast and get some sleep. At noon, when I came up for the afternoon watch, I looked overboard, but the shadow ship was gone. The second mate had me working on my punch mat and gave Tammy his sinnet, telling me to keep an eye on him. The boy seemed fine, though strangely quiet all afternoon. At 4 o'clock, we went below for tea. When we returned after 4 bells, the breeze had died and the ship was barely moving. The sun was low, the sky clear. A few times, I thought I saw that same shimmer in the air as before the mist, and twice I saw thin wisps of fog rising from the sea off our port side. Otherwise, everything was calm. I kept staring into the water but saw no sign of the shadow ship. A little after 6 bells, we were ordered to shorten sail for the night. We took down the royals, the topgallants, and the 3 main sails. Soon, a rumor spread. After 8 o'clock, there would be no lookout posted, and the forecastle doors would be shut and locked. No one would be allowed on deck. "Who's going to take the wheel?" I heard Plummer ask. "Probably us as usual," someone answered. "An officer will be on the poop deck." As one man said, "If we stay in our bunks all night, none of us will go missing by morning." Shortly after that, the 8 bells rang.